Please welcome AIPAC Southwest Regional Political Director, Jerry Greenspan.
Our next speaker is a labor leader, a committed progressive, and a strong supporter of the U.S.-Israel relationship. J. David Cox is the national president of the American Federation of Government Employees, one of the largest unions in the country. He's a member of the AFL-CIO Executive Council and serves a number of other key roles in pro-worker organizations. During the Obama administration, J. David was appointed to advisory councils addressing the needs of federal workers. His support for America's alliance with Israel is far-reaching. He has a unique understanding of the dangers of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement. In particular, the damage it does and it poses to Jewish and Palestinian workers in the state of Israel. His passion on these issues drives him to ensure that the campaign to discredit and delegitimize Israel does not succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming J. David Cox. Good to see you. J. David, welcome back to Policy Conference. If everybody remembers, you opened the session yesterday, and so we're excited to have you back for a deeper dive into your support for Israel.
Thanks so much for having me, Jerry. I'm glad to be here.
I want to start by talking a little bit about you personally, because labor's relationship with Israel goes back to the founding of the state. And there are two historical movements here, labor and Zionism, that are very much connected. But as I said, on a more personal level, you travel to Israel every year. Why are you so supportive of Israel and the U.S.-Israel relationship?
Well, number one, I'm a trade unionist. I am a Zionist. They go hand in hand together. They have a partnership. And Israel, I love it. But most of all, I love it because it's a democracy where you have freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press, those things that we value so dearly here in the United States. But one thing that we overlook that I think Israel does a better job than we do here in the United States, they have free, independent labor unions that do a great job of representing their membership and the workers in Israel.
And you told me that Israel's labor laws are more progressive, stronger, if you will, than in the United States.
Much more progressive. The Israeli Union of Government Employees, they have the right to bargain wages and benefits for workers, as well as the right to strike, all of those type things. My good buddy, Ariel Jacoby, who's president of those workers, does a fantastic job. They represent the workers, no matter which party's in power or what is going on. They are there working very, very hard.
And these rights extend to men, women, Israelis, Arabs, Jews, Christians?
Everyone. When I go to their meetings, no, it's a sea of diversity there in a trade union group in Israel, and that's what I love so much about that.
That's fantastic. I mentioned this earlier, and I think it's a big issue for this crowd, and I want to turn to the issue of BDS. A progressive trade unionist like yourself, why is the BDS movement so troubling in your eyes?
Well, to BDS, I don't say no, I say hell no, brothers and sisters. And I'm a progressive, and I'm going to tell you right where I'm at. Now, I have colleagues in my progressive movement, very clearly, they reacted to the administrations when they said, no, we're going to ban people from certain Muslim countries, and rightfully so. That was a right reaction. But then they want to react to a BDS for Israel. That, you know, is a Jewish ban. J. David Cox is going to stand against it. He's going to fight against it. He's going to be working with the trade union movement in this country, with pension funds and all of those things. No, we will not boycott. We will not divest. We will not sanction. We will stand firm over and over. Now, I want you to know where this progressive is at, brothers and sisters. That's where I'm at. Not no, but hell no. We cannot deprive the world of the technology, of the great things that comes out of Israel, the medical devices. If it's my mother, I want her to have it to save her life. And so I classify those that want to implement these programs. I'll say it point blank, they're Jew haters, and I'm going to stand up against them, brothers and sisters. That's me. I'll take my progressive group on as much as I'll take the conservative group on.
I feel like we should stop right there, but we have more time. And we got more questions. I don't think you're going to be able to top that answer, but I do want to kind of delve a little bit further, because progressive support for Israel is a decades-long tradition, and it's under attack. I mean, very frankly, what are you saying to those in your progressive movement who are looking to push progressives away from Israel?
Well, number one, you've got to take a look, and I'm an eternal optimist. My glass is always half full. It will never, ever be empty, and that's how you get things done, having a vision, getting out there working. I think you've got to take a look at, what is a progressive? A progressive, to me, is about we, not me. And I'm going to say that one more time, about we, not me. When we look at progressive things, that includes what's best for the group and the country and the citizens as a whole. Healthcare is good for everyone. Public education is good for everyone. All of those type things. A living wage is good for everyone. So yes, when you look at the credentials of Israel and the laws, they're much more progressive than we have in the United States of America. Their labor laws, much more progressive. Everyone can form and join a union with full, total rights for collective bargaining, the right to strike, the right to do those things. But also look at the laws that there is a minimal of paid time off in Israel. Parental leave, holiday, sick leave, all of those progressive things. So yes, we need to be reaching out to our progressive Zionists and working with progressives in this country and moving forward. If we take a look at what Israel is doing for its workers on the bread and butter issues, I think progressives in this country will identify and want to take up that agenda as much as the trade unionists in this country want to take it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So you put it out there. I want you to maybe give us a quick version. A lot of the folks in the crowd today, tomorrow they're going to go to Capitol Hill. Many of them may meet with new Democrats that were just elected in November. Some of them are progressive, some of them are centrists, but they're Democrats, and they talk to folks like you about what's needed from your union and from unions like yours. What do you tell the folks that are listening right now about how to talk to these new Democrats about Israel and about the U.S.-Israel relationship?
Well, number one, tell them J. David Cox sent you, and they know where I stand on these issues very, very quickly. But I would say, make your case, explain your case. Many freshman members of Congress, whether they're a Democrat or Republican, they're elected, many of them by small margins. They get worried about the next reelection. You've got to educate them. You've got to talk with them. You've got to make your case. When you educate them, I find most of them come your way very, very quickly. And I would say, do that. Spend the time. Don't take for granted they know what you're talking about. They got elected as a member of Congress, but they do not know all the issues. And I would tell you also, when you go, if you don't get the member, work with their staff. Their staff obviously relays all that information to the member, and as it is within AFGE and in AIPAC, get the staff involved and you'll get the agenda moving.
You're taking a page right out of our book for those that were up at 7 a.m. for lobby caucusing. They heard that from us. Talk to the staffer, get to know the member, obviously, but work with everybody that's advising the member on these issues as well. I want to turn a little bit to politics, and this has been a little bit more policy-oriented conversation, but 2020 is around the corner, and there is a hotly contested election coming up for president, at least. What are some of the political trends, JD, that you're following, and what should we be watching over the next couple of months?
Well, it's not going to surprise anyone in this room. I am following every candidate as where they are at with the right of workers to form and join a union. Clearly, I believe that's a way to have living wages for all, to have benefits for all, to improve the economy, to see that workers are treated right. And there's a lot more workers in this country and in Israel than there are top executives of corporations.
And I hope what I'm going to ask is that, yes, you're validating, I hope, to these candidates that are looking to you for guidance on this issue as well, on Israel, because they may not expect to hear from you on this particular issue.
No, trust me. I stress my support for Israel over and over. Many of them know my support for Israel and that I visit there on a regular, reoccurring basis and raise those issues with them. And I will say very openly to this group, I love Israel as much as I love the United States of America.
Wow.
And people have said to me, how does this Southern guy that was born in North Carolina in the 50s, when we had segregation, Jim Crow laws, how do you have that love? And how can you say that you can weigh that love between two countries? Well, I have two sons, and I love them equally, y'all. So I love the United States of America, and I love Israel because I have a passion for both of them. I see the progressive movements in both countries. I see the trade union movement in the country, and I strongly support. I'm a Zionist. I won't go through all the definition. I think everybody understands where I'm at with that. But I love both countries, and I would say very openly and publicly, I would give the ultimate sacrifice for Israel. That's how much I love Israel.
I'm actually going to say, yeah, I'm going to let them applaud, but JD, I think that's actually a fantastic place to stop. I want to say on behalf of all of us that are here, on behalf of AIPAC and the pro-Israel movement, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for how you're talking to folks on the progressive side of the aisle about these issues, because we need more folks like you leading and lobbying for us. And JD, we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, JD
Thank
Cox.
all of you for having me here. Thank you very much. Have a great conference and continue.